All right, guys, we're going to the final match of our draft league. We are 1-1 right now, so we need to win this one to finish with packs. If we don't, we go home with nothing. We're going to keep this hand. It's pretty good. Um, just having a 3-drop and a 4-drop isn't terrible when we're on the play. So, okay, well now we have an even better 3-drop to play. Niblis of Dusk and a Mercurial Geist is pretty strong if your opponent can't answer. Especially when you draw a Galvanic Blast. So we're going to play Niblis. I wonder if our opponent's also blue-red. That's kind of the weird thing. Like, normally, if there's one blue-red deck like ours in a draft, no one else could be in the same deck because we took all... Not in a good version of it, anyway, because we took so much stuff from our opponent. Nebelgast, okay. I don't think it's worth unsubstantiating, even. We'll just let it tap our guy. Especially because we're really going to want to be doing stuff with our triggers now that we have 2 cards with one with real prowess and one with pseudo prowess. So our opponent is blue-red, just like we are. We have bombardment to get this out of the way, and we bash for 7 if our opponent doesn't do anything else. That sounds pretty good, right? It becomes a lot more if we bombardment and unsubstantiate. So that's the interesting thing about the league, though, is that normally I wouldn't really need to be thinking about playing another blue-red deck. I would know they didn't have certain cards because we took so many of them, or at least they don't have a lot of copies of them. But in this case, I don't know anything, really. So it's definitely a different experience in that way. Okay, well, all right. Yeah, I think we bombard the flyer out of the way and then play our Thermo Alchemist. So we're going to get the flyer out of the way and then bash with our flyers. I guess playing our Exultant Cultist isn't bad either. So that's 7 damage all of a sudden. But I think I like playing the Alchemist a little better. We can also leave mana up for Unsubstantiate, though I doubt we want to use it since right now every spell means our opponent takes 7, since we got that flyer out of the way. I would cast Unsubstantiate. No, I probably wouldn't. There's probably no situation where I cast it right now. Well, maybe there is. If he puts like a crazy aura on a dude, I would certainly consider it. So we take 3 here, of course. Okay, Niblis is annoying, but we can unsubstantiate and bash for 7 again. Actually, it's a little more than 7. So I think we probably do that. I think we go unsubstantiate. Get this dude out of our way. This time we can also play our cultist. He may have a kill spell of his own to use in response. Or a bounce spell of his own, since we didn't actually use a kill spell. Right. Get back in our opponent's hand, please. Bash him for 7. Puts him at 5, and when you have Thermo Alchemist in play, that can quickly go away. Do you have Bombardment or something? No. You're going to 5. Just go to 5. Nope, he's got something. His own Unsubstantiate. Okay. So he just goes to 9 instead. All right, we're going to play our Cultist, who's pretty good at blocking an Eldrazi Horror token and replacing it itself. So that's probably what it'll do. Although I guess it can attack okay on this board. So maybe I want to keep it. How many spells we have if we draw Homunculus? We've only got 2, surprisingly. I think I'd probably still block the Horror with my Cultist. Drawing the extra card's probably worth it. I wonder if our opponent has any creatures with Awaken or Emerge. I always want to call it Awaken. That's strange. What do we draw? Yeah, that's a good one. Assuming we draw into more, of course. Okay, ping. Makes me think our opponent has a card with Emerge. Like, I'm really pretty sure of it now. So I think we play around that, because he can flash one in. We know that he has a card in his hand that he could have played, and he decided not to play it. So I don't think I want to deal with that. I think instead I'm just going to go take 1, Cast, take inventory. Now, I can still attack with my flyer. Ooh, well, the guy gets hexproof when he comes into play. One of them does. So, that's a little less than ideal. I think I'll attack with my flyer, though. He could have a Nebelgast Herald. So what do you have here? Nebelgast doesn't worry me a huge amount. What the heck is he doing? Maybe he just wants to flash it in to have the threat, but I can just bounce it. It's probably better to play my Homunculus. Even if he plays a huge Eldrazi, like, I'm not overly concerned about it in most scenarios. So yeah, I'm going to play the Homunculus. And I'm going to end my turn. See what he does now. We know he has a spell he could have played, and he didn't play it. So he's got to have... Yeah, he does have a dude. Yeah, it's Drownyard Behemoth. Doesn't worry me too much since we're at 17. I just take it. Like, what could he possibly do to kill us here? I say that. He'll find a way. All right, our opponent is in trouble, I'd say. Yep. Just the wind is probably going to be kind of backbreaking here. So we're going to do 1 to him. Theoretically. There it is. Because we can just bounce the flyer out of the way. This will be transformed. And then we swing for 3. And we don't even quite even need 3 damage. I guess on the off chance our opponent has something else going on, it might suck. But now we have... yeah, now we can actually just win with Thermo Alchemist. But if I don't have to show him if I have Fortune's Favor, I don't think I will. So we're just going to cast just the wind here on the flyer. All right, got there. All right, well, our deck has performed pretty well in most games. We had the little bit of a hiccup in games 2 and 3 of round 1, but we haven't seen that here. So I've talked about potentially changing the number of lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I only have 8 red spells. I have blue spells that can draw me into mountains, but I don't have red spells. Yeah, okay. I think I screwed up on my mana base. I think running 1 more island is right. Since we have blue spells that help us hit mountains, but no red spells that help us hit islands. And yeah, playing Thermal Alchemist early is important and all, but we've been having some serious mana issues on turns where we want to cast like 3 cards that cost 2 mana, and we have the mana, but not the right colored mana. You know what I mean? So I think that's the right thing to do. Those homunculi have been pretty legit too. Easy as heck to transform in this deck. All right, I think this is a good one. Ooh, he let us play first? All right, I'll take it. We don't have our guy with prowess this time, so which can be pretty backbreaking. Well, we have that now. That's even better. All right, Alchemist. Okay, well, I think we just play Cultist. If we can wait to cast Take Inventory until we have Geist in play, I think we might as well, you know, so. Although this turn, if I don't draw the land, I probably just cast Take Inventory. We did, though, so. We'll swing with our Cultist. And then we'll play out the Geists. And we're in pretty great shape here. We have a ton of damage in our hand, basically, now that we have a Geist in play. What's he got here? Not super concerned. So that's good for us. That it wasn't, like, something that really matters. Like, a flyer would have been a little bit of a nuisance there for sure. Okay. So we're going to ping our opponent for 1. And then we're going to cast Take Inventory. Okay. I could press for answers, tap this down. This makes this hit for 7, and we hit for 1 more here. And we also hit for 2 more damage. It's probably worth it since it replaces itself. And we still hold on to 2 other ways to interact later, so we're just going to use press here. Now we hit for a huge amount of damage, so that feels good. So our opponent can block the cultist, of course, but... Okay, opponent just scooped. Our deck was very strange in that it seemed super dominant in most of the games. But we had those 2 games. I think our opponent just had too much strong removal. I think that was the big weakness of this deck. If we hadn't run into an opponent who was just like, kill all your guys, now what are you going to do? Because that's a problem. This deck to function sort of needs all these cogs in place that are our creatures. And once we have them in play and we just start casting spells and they have a million things of incidental value, it's hard for an opponent to win. So we did finish with a prize, at least. This was definitely a 3-0 caliber deck. I've 3-0'd with worse in this format, but 2-1 feels good with it as well. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.